We'll check out the rooms, I guess. Look for a way to the next level?
Yeah, sounds like.
This must lead to an elevator.
It does, but it's another encrypted lock. I light up the pattern for you.
Another empty bedroom. I don't see a way up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's the camera.
Here's the code.
Not much here either. Here we go.
You mean uh,
We still have one level to go.
Hey, there's another beam here. I think it's a shortcut.
It is more direct, but I wouldn't advise it. You're better off finding a way through the apartments. Besides, I know how much you like to explore.
You still don't know whoever it is, do you?
I do not. This game is called Return to Grace. I am playing this on the Xbox Series X, and it is animating at 60 frames, even though you might not see it in the stream. It doesn't seem to be a performance mode, so it's just 60 frames by default. I like to get right to the meat and potatoes. I know frames is what a lot of people care about.
I guess if you don't want to do the beam stuff, that's okay.
Here's the code.
I don't see any signs of unrest or violence.
And they left little behind.
Well, nothing to climb here.
Let's go.
What are these?
From what I can tell, they're audio recordings.
Of what, I wonder?
We would require a playback device to learn more. There may be a way to access the recording through your wrist communicator with the aid of a signal amplifier. But that would only be possible by adding an element of control to my logic processing capabilities.
So you need to create a control and logic configuration.
Like a little brother?
Well, it's the only combination left. May as well, Mom.
All right. Here we go.
Hello?
Maybe he's sleeping.
So you require a tool upgrade.
It's a boy.
We were hoping you could set up my comm device to help play back recordings.
Already done. Just hold your device up to the canister. You will be able to access the recording the same way you've been connecting to other systems.
Okay.
Hey, Grace. So I'm pretty sure I was the youngest person on the flight here, and the only Darksider, which was a bit of a surprise. My friends are still sending me halos on what to wish for, mostly stupid suggestions. And my parents made me promise to not waste it on something boyfriend-related, which I agree would also be stupid. So, here goes. I wish for the lunar terraform to be finished. We're lucky enough to be in the dome, but thousands of kids are still stuck in the tunnels, and their families don't have enough money to take Earth trips. So they've never really been in a space wider than 3 meters without a pea suit, which really sucks. So, whatever you can do to make that happen would be great. Thanks, Grace.
I'd hate to tell her, but the terraform never happened. People came here to make wishes?
For Grace to grant?
I'm unclear how she would go about granting the wishes of so many visitors.
So, what should we call the new config?
I do not require a name.
Might make it easier to add one?
I will let you know if a suitable name occurs to me.
I'll try to think of some too.
Here you go.
Someone tore this apart.
And took the pieces somewhere?
You're right. That's certainly interesting. Another dead end. Someone's made off with the mattress?
As a souvenir, maybe.
Someone's removed the keypad. Figure this was left here as a token, or an offering? Another way up.
Oh, I've got one! We can name him Pal Jr.
I was thinking something that sums up what he does.
I can do many things. Pretty much anything you require.
So you're a jack of all trades.
So we could call you Jack.
What do you think of that, Jack?
I will answer to Jack then, if you like.
Might be worth it.
It's a lot farther down. Are you sure? Please don't fall.
How would saying that be helpful?
Look at that drop. Really makes you feel alive, doesn't it?
Let's keep it that way.
Hang on. You got this. Addy!
You're not hurt, are you?
I'll be okay. I think.
You can climb up at the other end of the beam.
What's the fun in that? You're not gonna let a little beam beat us.
You had better be heading out this way to go through the apartments.
No. She's taking on that beam again. I know it.
That would be completely unnecessary. I can't imagine anyone would jeopardize a year-long mission to prove what? be serious. This is completely reckless. Thoughtless.
Take a deep breath, Mom.
Thought wasn't that bad.
Your heart is going to rip right out of your chest.
Yeah. All this time on this.
Yikes.
This is so exciting.
Breathe, Addie. Easy now.
Yikes.
Easy now.
Totally worth it, right, Addie?
I don't have words. This is level 3, Addie.
Let's look for evidence of Everett.
Aren't you getting a little ahead of yourself?
What's the code?
Of course. I'm sorry I don't handle the beams very well.
Well, it shows you care, I guess.
I am able to enter the codes directly if you would like.
Let her do it on her own, if she wants.
Any way of knowing if this was Everett's room?
The records only give the level. We'll just have to look around.
Someone left a portrait. All right.
Here, Grace. Najisha, she was so excited when I got the summons. We talked about this for months. Who we could help. Who was most deserving. She honestly believed we could come up with a wish that could make everything perfect. perfect. Thank you for choosing me. And thank you for letting me delay coming here. I want to be true to her memory, her wishes, her unlimited love for humanity. But my only wish, the only thought I have, is to have her back. I want her back.
There couldn't have actually been anything Grace could have done for her.
Grace allowed her to voice her grief.
Let's try this one.
Hello, Grace. I've thought much about what I'd say when I got here. I know it's important for my parents that I make my wish count. So, I guess I wish for them to be proud of me. Thank you, Grace.
Here you go.
There we go. Hey, what happened to the lights?
I believe Control has turned them off, Addie.
Not cool, boss. Control?
You'll need to use your helmet light.
Unbelievable. Look how beat up this is.
It must have been done in anger.
I believe fear also played a part here.
This is Mark Anthony Wong, and I was called to Grace from Earth Station Phoenix. Not sure if anyone will hear this, but the whole tube system is shut down right now. People are not happy, and I'm getting a little scared, to be honest. I'll be locking myself in until the shuttle returns, and I'm leaving this in case something really bad happens.
That's a little ominous.
Clearly, these canisters were not making it through the tube system. We should inspect the tubes for more.
Good idea.
Of course it is.
I've been instructed by Grace to make a wish. Not something big and altruistic, not for someone else, but for me. A real, honest wish, my heart's true desire. Honestly, this long flight to the middle of nowhere, months without my family, missing the harvest with a per diem that barely covers expenses, for what? Some mystical song and dance that makes us feel like we're somehow part of this robot theocracy. This whole thing, the temple, the hushed tones, the awe that people seem to show this place is ridiculous. My honest wish is to be left alone long enough to actually make some headway on the farm and pull in a decent crop.
It doesn't sound like everyone was happy to come here.
For Grace to understand what made people unhappy was just as important as knowing what made them content.
Here you go.
That's it.
Hey, the tube system is no longer accepting wishes. If anyone knows how to reach Keeper Everett, please let him know.
Keeper Everett.
It sounds like keepers were Spire caretakers.
When did Everett stay on this floor?
2955.
That's 20 years before this message was recorded.
So he stayed on after his visit and became a keeper? Why was there no record of that?
I would think answers lie at the other end of these vacuum tubes.
From what I can tell, the tube system runs through the central elevator shaft.
Logic? You gonna let us in, considering we know Everett was a keeper?
But do you know what a keeper is?
We'll need access to the elevator to learn more.
Ah, a classic paradox.
Logic.
Fine. If you're done snooping around, I will grant you access to the elevator.
Or you could uncover more canisters and learn more about the people who came here.
Reaching the beacon is the priority. You must move on.
Yeah, let's use the elevator.
Logic will open the way to the beacon. You must go to the elevator.
Hold your horses.
You don't rush me.
Hey, Grace. I really don't know why you would choose me. I guess no one really knows why they're called to the Spire, but I'm greatly honored. At my age, I thought
That's all I can recover from this one.
It sounds like Grace chose who came here.
That explains why Grace arranged all the flights to and from the Spire. She was in control of it all. Here you go. Try again. That's not it.
Perfect.
Why do you insist on defying me?
I'm starting to enjoy it.
Mark Anthony here. Been moving around, keeping my head down. Won't be long before they start blaming us for schmutzing up the tubes.
I said I want to defy you. This will not be contained.
Looks like Olympia Mon colors. I guess the team's old enough.
Go outside first. Out here. Let's go check this one.
Doubt you'll ever get this message, Grace. We've been waiting weeks now without... I hope Keeper Everett is okay. I've been told his sermons are wonderful. And I hope you will be able to deliver the word of grace again soon. Make things work. I'd like you to know that we still love you and think about you. Great comfort to our family over the years. We've all made them for us. With your wisdom, you are missed.
So Grace would receive wishes and then leave people with instruction in the form of sermons. Could that really be all there was to it?
Ideas are powerful. Perhaps just returning with a more enlightened perspective was enough to move society toward common goals.
Highly unlikely. Grace must have had some control over planetary infrastructure, if she was to have had the influence you suspect.
Yeah.
My wish? Oh, I'll tell you my wish. 10 years ago, we're on Venus at the Big Dome. Huge crowd. Olympia Mons favored 4-1, loses 5-1. 6 years ago, on Earth against South Union, loses 2-1. 2 years ago, South Union again, this time up north, I took the boys 3 months round trip. They go 90 minutes, no score. Extra time, no score. South Union takes it again in penalties. You want my wish, Gracie? The next World Cup is on Mars. I wish that Olympia faces South Union again and destroys them, like Space Me Out the Airlock humiliated. That would be a game. That's my wish. So how do I end this?
Olympia's still a crap team.
Perhaps Grace was rendered inactive by football hooligans.
Grace likely fostered sports as an alternative outlet for uncontrolled aggression. Of course people would come to her to share their passions.
Here you go.
Great. Only Grace.
Are we allowed to draw on the windows here? Certainly not. The people who did this were looking for trouble.
They were tracking something here. Terracycles, maybe?
They'd lost sync with Earth?
Or the spire lost power. I don't recognize these words. They look like technical or medical terms. A list of supplies, maybe.
Or a list of demands?
My demand is that you go to the elevator at once.
You'll be getting what you want soon enough.
So I've been thinking a lot, and I feel like, there's been peace for like centuries now, right? But I watch the old Halos, and there's wars and bad guys and pirates and people who need saving, and it's exciting, right? And of course, it's awful, people dying. But I feel like there's no way to prove yourself. Nothing to fix or protect. Does that make any sense? I just want something, anything at all, to happen. I guess that's what I wish for. Not like a war or anything, just something.
So this guy was just bored?
'Cause he didn't have a friend like you, Addie.
I think this was the last room.
It is.
Finally.
To the elevator. Elevator. Go home.
You're looking pretty smug.
What's the pattern?
Another easy one. Light the four corners of the pad. You really didn't need my help for this one. It would be a common pattern when guessing symbols.
I have to give you something to do, right? Look at all the vacuum tubes. There must be one in every room in this settlement. Keepers must have been busy.
It's what Grace does with the wishes that should interest us. I suspect you're pleased with yourself.
I didn't think reading emotion was part of your programming.
Human emotion can just as easily be deduced from context. You seek out a challenge, so I assume you enjoy it. You met the conditions of my challenge. Therefore, it could be assumed that you would take some pleasure, or perhaps pride, in the achievement.
That's an excellent assessment. Does that mean I'm out of a job?
If by job you mean making irrelevant observations, then no. I will leave that with you.
We have arrived at our destination.
The Spire pilgrims must have gathered here. To listen to the Keeper's sermons, I guess.
People will return here once the beacon is restored. Flock and shepherd will be reunited.
Reminds me of Bioshock Infinite. Beginning.
Signs of conflict?
Or a strength contest?
What do we have on the ground?
People were clearly sleeping here. They must have dragged this up from the settlement. Pilgrims were building fires. Why would they do that? Someone went through a lot of food. Guessing they were here for a while.
Judging by bedding and volume of food containers, 5 to 10 people might have been here for over 20 days.
Where is Grace? Well, I'm not alone in wondering.
I am here. It is the people who are lost.
It must have been written with charcoal from the fires. Wish canisters.
These have never been used.
For recording wishes, maybe. They look pretty banged up. Seems to be holding my weight. This must weigh a ton. At least a couple people worked together to break through here. So the Keeper must have stood here, addressed the visitors, gave his sermons. You imagine having the solar system coming to you for answers?
The Keeper was merely a vessel for the word of grace.
Then why not have Grace address them?
There's sometimes more power in what is imagined than in what is seen.
Purposely ambiguous. Should I say unnecessarily ambiguous?
This must be an attempted barricade. I'm guessing there was a lengthy siege. So, when Grace shut down, the Pilgrims blamed the Keeper. They demanded to see Grace, or thought they could reactivate her. The Keeper turned off the heat. Pilgrims built fires, dug in. They eventually got restless. Wish canisters started flying. As Pilgrims were breaking through the partition, the Keeper and his followers built up a barricade. We'll have to make our way through the barricade to learn how it ended.
Nice deduction.
More camps.
Man,
Another stage in the siege. Looks like the numbers really fell off here. Most gave up by now.
Or died.
No bodies yet. Death to Everett. Pretty clear who they blamed.
You'll want your light, Addie.
Can't make this out.
Like Caesar.
(2780 to 2830). These dates are from the old Julian calendar, which makes them very old.
1,200 years, by all accounts.
Old enough.
Nothing here either. This canister looks undamaged.
And it has been recorded on.
This has gone on long enough. There's nothing Keeper Everett can do to meet your demands. You must return to your ships now, or we will be forced to take more drastic measures.
So this was left for the angry Pilgrims.
What do you think more drastic measures were?
I don't know. But you might get to see that dead body. Second barricade. Looks like they got under this one. Do we know where this goes?
To a funicular that leads to the next section of the spire.
Long live Grace.
Apparently not.
Oxygen tanks. Everett upped the ante. Cut off life support here.
Hold on, Addie. The room beyond the airlock is uncompressed. I don't believe it can be sealed. Something must have been compromised. You'll want your helmet on.
Your deduction skills are exemplary.
The tracks ahead lead to the highest point of the spire, known as the Lighthouse.
Is that where we'll find Grace's processors?
Obviously.
You need only worry about the beacon, Addie.
An emergency exit?
For certain. It opens to the moon's surface.
Not going there yet. This doesn't look operational.
Let me try it, Addie.
Okay.
Come on! It's ice again?
The force needed to break through the ice dam would only come from directing all power to control processors.
Which only I can do.
Great.
On one condition.
And what's that?
You shall have no others before me. Cast aside that device on your wrist and continue with me alone.
Whoa, hang on.
No, Addie.
But how will I communicate with you?
Mine is the only voice that resonates freely throughout every aspect of the spire. My words live within the vessel in which you stand now. They reverberate through the very walls of the Enclave above. Through the many devices and instruments at my control.
Yep, I got it. You're everywhere.
What if she needs another configuration for something?
She will not.
Is there another way to get to the top?
Of course. The funicular is merely the most survivable option.
Throw the device from the funicular window to take your place at my side.
So if I throw this away, you'll take me to the top.
It will be done.
There must be other options, Addie.
The emergency exit in the airlock may provide an alternative path.
This door leads out into the storm?
To your certain demise, yes.
He's being dramatic. Your death is only marginally likely.
In theory, you could follow the funicular track up the mountain slope to the base of the lighthouse structure.
It would be dangerous.
So I give up my options by throwing away my comm, or take my chances in the storm?
It's an important decision, to be sure.
You must not do this, Addie. In taking this risk, you jeopardize all of humanity. Would you deny them my guidance and protection?
This is what can happen when you make ultimatums.
You and your ilk were distracting Addie from her true purpose.
We are providing Addie with a variety of perspectives.
Sorry, boss. I'm keeping my comm device.
You may not live to regret this, but countless billions in the solar system will.
The storm is...
Hello? Must be interference from the storm.
Addie?
Alan?
Where are you?
I was right, Alan. I found Grace.
You need to return immediately, Addie. Your oxygen must be dangerously low.
I'm good, Alan.
You need to listen to me.
If I'd listened to you, we wouldn't have made it past Mars.
Wait, did you say Grace is still active?
Not exactly, but I'm working with her oldest service to try to bring her back online.
Well, one of these servers is actively blocking me.
I can guess which one.
You need to get back.
Alan? Alan!
You're not considering climbing across that structure, are you?
Of course she is.
Do I have a choice?
There is also a path that descends into the canyon. It looks well worn and preserved over time, which means it's likely sheltered and safe.
And boring.
Not that you care, but you would almost certainly be killed if you fell from there.
The funicular structure looks faster. And more fun.
There's nothing fun about a compound fracture. And perhaps the walk will give us a chance to talk. I can't do it, Addie. You can't force me to watch you risk your life like this.
On the bright side, if this doesn't work out, we'll still get to see the bottom of the canyon.
I'm with you, Addie.
Slow and steady. Don't forget to breathe.
Whoa.
Breathe, Addie.
Ah,
Oh, great save.
that was too close. Oh boy.
In through your nose, out through your mouth. You're in control.
Not sure this was the smartest choice.
Nonsense. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
But what kills you, kills you.
Take it in, Addie. How many humans can say they've climbed across a train track bridge thingy in a lunar ice storm? You only live once, right?
Not sure that applies to you.
Oh, maybe not. But who knows what's going to happen at the end of all this? We gotta enjoy it while it lasts, right?
I couldn't agree with you more, pal. That's a bit of a stretch.
You can make that. Right, Addie?
Please, consider the consequences here.
I thought you weren't going to watch.
You may not value your life, but I do.
It's just your programming.
What does that matter? There are two truths here. Firstly, I don't care why I feel this way about you. I just do. Secondly, you're not going to make that jump.
It is unlikely, and a failed attempt would risk grave injury.
Listen, Logic. You must turn back and take the canyon path.
But we're so close!
Here goes nothing.
Yes!
No.
You okay? I think I heard something break.
That would be Addie's helmet light. Otherwise, your suit would be intact.
Just winded, I think.
I'm so sorry, Addie. I thought for sure you could.
Sorry to disappoint.
Your vitals are still good. Can you stand?
Yeah, just give me a second.
Addie?
I can say it, Mom. You were right.
I don't want to be right. I want you to be okay. Are you okay?
Not really, but...
But you're going to push on.
I'm gonna push on.
Why is it doing this?